Father God, we turn to you this morning. We're mindful of our county and the blessings you've shared with us, and we're mindful of those that serve in positions. We pray for wisdom and direction as we make decisions for our constituents today. Be with those that protect us, those soldiers, sailors, airmen, and people that keep us safe. We pray you would watch over them. That did this prayer, we pray in Christ's name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Commissioner meeting. All right. First item of business is the minutes from our July 1st meeting. They were sent via email. Any alterations, corrections?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion. Do I have a
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Payroll number 14, calendar year 2019, is $227,460.51. We had a total of 251 claims in the amount of $795,139.77.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Row. Move to Scott.
Good morning.
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 I don't have a lot other than we have 93 inmates in jail this morning. We have dipped down under triple digits, as Blake said. That was been a little refreshing, for sure. We were down actually in the mid-80s last week, so busy weekend. So those numbers kind of climbed back up a little bit, but getting some breathing room there. We got 34 pretrial, Superior 26 for circuit, 12 F6s, and 11 DOC. So I assume that we'll get some DOC sent off here soon. So that'll help with the numbers there a little bit. As far as building stuff, we had gentlemen come out to look at our HVAC system for the entire jail. Hoping to hear something from them here in the near future as far as options, things to look at. They were impressed with how well, just not to brag, I'm going to brag on it.
You can. I was there as a witness.
Yeah, Kevin was there. So they had been in a lot of jails before, but they had really pointed out two things. One, how well our maintenance person takes care of our facility. And then also the cleanliness of the jail itself. They said they had been in a lot of jails, and for the jail, the age of our jail that we have, it's in very good condition and cleanliness. So I thought that was a nice comment for them. I know they're trying to get our business probably down the road, but still I'll take it. It was it was pretty good.
I can tell you, I'll echo your thoughts, because I've known these individuals probably for 20 plus years, and they're good people, and they would not say that unless they meant it, and they've been in a lot of different facilities. And I mean, that was the first thing, even before they said anything to the sheriff, they mentioned something to me about that. So we were on the roof, we were everywhere, and sheriff's got it in good shape. Just give some fine-tuning looks if needed, and move it forward for
them. Yeah, and I think I reported before, I was out of town the last meeting we had, but we also had a company, CSM, come out and do an evaluation on the roof. I reported this to council. Best we can tell, that roof was put on about 15 years ago. So usually it's a rubber roof, and those rubber roofs usually last about 20 years. So I just wanted to, I'm trying to step back and take a look at the building to say, hey, what are we looking at here in the next 2 to 5 years, so that I don't have to come to you guys in council tomorrow and say, hey, we need a new roof type thing. So there is some aging spots or some separation spots where the rubber roof is delaminating and those type of things. So we've taken some preventative measures. We did have a small leak that was fixed that following Monday. After they came out, they came down and fixed it for us. something we had kind of been trying to take care of ourselves, and we just didn't seem to find it. But so I had them come out. They fixed that. They said we could probably get another 5 years out of that roof if we put, a little bit of money into it, preventive maintenance-wise each year. So,
TLC.
Yep.
Buy us time.
so he said anywhere from maybe $2,000 to $5,000 a year in preventive maintenance stuff if we go through and those type of things. But we're looking at that being a possibility, in the next 5 years. So I know that's not a cheap project that was the first time I had ever been on the roof, and there is a lot of stuff on top of there. So I would hate to be the roofing company that has to
Cut around everything.
Cut around everything, Kevin.
And it's amazing how hot a white roof is on a 95-degree day.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, it was all about Jenny Craig and weight loss.
So
BMI, we're working on our BMI again.
So two of the biggest things we're looking at there is, the roof down the road, and then also the HVAC system. Just a lot of stuff we have is obsolete. The companies that come in have to find parts for it online, if they're lucky, for replacement. So we get it going for a little while. I have a fan this morning blowing cold air from the hallway into my office, so...
I'll vouch for that. The sheriff's office is probably the hottest office in the building.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's ridiculous.
So
So-
we get it working for a while, and then those air handlers go down, those old systems. So, that's kind of the gist of what we're looking at there. So, and just to throw it out there, too, our public parking lot is something that's going to need to be addressed. Hopefully, if there's some public safety money next year, might be a project that we're looking at doing. We had our employee side done last year, and that's going to get resurfaced this fall and relined. But our public side, we've had the county highway over the years come out and patch some spots with that spray and some other things, but that is in dire need. Hopefully next year that's something we can address, that we can put some money towards as well. So, other than that, everything's going well and nothing else to report. So.
New transport vehicle working?
Yes, we've been using that for about 3 weeks now. We're actually using it today. We got 11 of them going this afternoon, and all of them will fit in it. So it's been a good addition. I personally took it to court twice. Our transport guy had a couple days off, and I've used it. It's a great addition. It's been working out well. We'll actually have it out at the county fair this week. So
Good.
we can show it to the public a little bit and everything else. But it's been really, really good for us. It's cut down on the total number of vehicles. To take that number to court today without that van would take about 4 vehicles. So we can take it with one, and it would take obviously four people plus to get that many people to court. So
Sure.
so significant reduction in man hours and vehicle being used for that. So and pulling people away from their normal duties. So.
Great. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Scott.
Thank you.
Follow up with Josh.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
So finally some good weather. Round 2 of side ditch mowing's complete. I do have a couple mowers hitting some spots 3 times that have grown. Seems like we've got more moisture down in Jackson Township and such, so it's still growing. Backhoe crew is south, as reported last meeting. We have 3 more townships to go. Should finish up in Nottingham today or tomorrow. Seems like every job, like last week, we probably replaced over 200 foot of pipe, anything from 12-inch all the way up to 24-inch. Every little job that I'll send them to that think it's going to be in and out, it turns out being a day or day and a half because of bigger problems due to so much rain and things this spring have really reared its head on us. But we're just doing it and doing it right. Unfortunately, it's going to cost a little more, but we'll make sure we don't have that problem in the future rather than cobbling it together. Hand patch and cruise north. Number 4 is the same as last meeting, still on track. Haven't had any major delays due to weather, so July 29th we should start our chip and seal. Small structures are still arriving. I was hoping to get a couple of those in as I reported the last week, but contractors are just like we are. They're behind. So, there are 2 or 3 that I am going to do because we're chip and sealing those roads. So those are like a must. Like you have to get those done now. The other ones they'll be done this year. It's just not as much of a push letting them get caught up as well as us. So we're staying on top of that. The hot mix stuff was all completed last week. They put berm stone down Friday. Talked to the striping company this morning. So in the next few weeks, they'll get out and get roads striped and the edges and the center lines and stop lines and all that. So, but they all look good if you drove any of
I
them.
was on Elm and I was down to 116. I
Yeah.
didn't go on South Stockdale
Yeah.
yet.
Elm Grove Road, you can actually now drive over 40 mile an hour and not get thrown in the side ditch.
Exactly. And you did some drainage that looks really good.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, we added
Absolutely helps.
and replaced some too.
Yeah.
So.
Cleaned it up. It looks really good.
Yep. So that's it. Just busy, very busy. Guys taking off for fairs and everything else. We're just making do with what we have.
Excellent. Good talk.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Nate.
All right. A couple items on my list here today. County Home Road and County Road 200 South, that federal aid project. We've actually got an agreement from Butler, Fairman, and Cipher. I've been in negotiation with them for a little while. It's one of our federal aid projects, so it's an 80-20 match for that. The contract's for $383,778, and that takes us all the way up through the point of right-of-way purchasing for the project. So the goal would be to request your signatures on it, be for all 3. I'll send that off to NDOT, then NDOT will end up issuing us a contract for the reimbursement following that. We still no work will end up being done until after I get a notice to proceed after that agreement's been signed. So it's one agreement, then they'll issue one kind of paralleling this agreement here.
Motion to approve.
Second. Aye.
And actually, you also have a copy of kind of the schematic plan of what we're looking at right now with your notes. So if you're ever getting any questions on that. And it actually was a reduction of about $17,000 from our early estimates for the project. So we actually took a few items out of the contract. So moving in the right direction at least. Item number 2, Hoosier Highway curve correction actually have a date. So they're looking to start the week of July 22nd. Ask that any residents, when you see construction, maintenance, traffic, detour, road closed signs, when the road closed signs go up, believe it, because in all likelihood that road's going to be completely closed. Local traffic to the homes will have some access, they'll be able to get in and out, but any through traffic, just please avoid the area once that project gets started. So
What was the time frame?
it's I don't have a solid end date for the contract at this point, but I know that when they start the 22nd, contractors actually threaten to be done in about 45 days, which would be incredibly quick for the job, but they're going to bring some large equipment in, and they've got a lot of other work to do, so they're not going to be messing around when they start on our job. So, number 3, active federal aid projects. Just kind of a note for your record that quarterly reports for both the bridge inspection contract and our Bridge 106 have been submitted to NDOT, so I'll have quarterly meetings with them in the next 30 days. And the last item I have here is the right-of-way for bridge project. This would be Bridge 403, I believe it is. It's down on 800 South between 1,000 and 1100
That's the one
West.
I emailed you, and
Yeah.
you said it's the new bridge.
It's actually a new bridge, so it's not an old bridge project. It's actually one of the small structures. It's like 19 feet wide. It's going to become a bridge when we replace it, so we're going through and getting right away for that. So,
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
all right. Any questions?
Nope.
Excellent. Hey, thank you very much.
Oh, did they get a copy of that?
Probably, I'll talk to the board here about that. So, next is Mike.
Morning.
Hello.
I gave you some updated numbers there. Our runs, and actually, year-to-date's going to change because we have an active call right now on Tarzan Road. So
Oh, boy.
So I'm here today, again, to ask for funding. We provide services to Union and Rock Creek Township in Wells County. And historically, if you look at our run numbers, more than 50% of our runs are in Wells County. Now, not all of those are rescue runs, obviously, but we do service Wells County. We are a Wells County department, whether or not our building is on the Huntington County side. Markle's split in half in Huntington, half in Wells. And we've never received funding for the services we provide, even though we provide the same services as other departments. There was a time when we did receive funding for our EMS, when we provided EMS service, and then when Wells County took that over, we no longer received that funding. So there was...
I have a question, not to interrupt, but so we've talked, and we know townships go in for your rescue unit itself. Does Rock Creek and Union pay into that also?
Yes.
Okay, so they're putting into that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this year they're especially taxed because they're having to purchase 2 trucks, one for Markle and one for Uniondale as
Okay.
well. So they're maxed out.
Okay.
I'm sure the Fillions probably filled you in on
Oh, yeah.
that.
Right. Yeah, I was just trying to get my arms around the fact of how it was all being funded, et cetera, to do that. I know we've talked a little bit about how we've helped out the various departments in the county, and we talked a little bit to see if we could try to do something with you. And we have spoken, or I know I have, with Huntington, and got an indicator on why they don't do what they do, which,
I
okay.
had a conversation with Tom, too.
And we-
Probably see him again on Wednesday at the Mayor's Commission.
And I understand. I guess for Michael's part, for Markle, what generally I think is the rule of thumb is because townships are responsible to provide this to the fire departments, correct?
By Indiana
For,
code.
by Indiana code to fund it.
Are they legally responsible to fund rescue, though?
Well, I don't know that answer. When at fire department, I don't know if rescue falls under that. Would that,
Do you know,
Roy?
Roy?
Would rescue fall under fire department?
I don't know.
Yeah, which is a good question.
I don't believe they do. Fire
Okay.
they do, but I don't believe they are required
Okay.
to fund rescue
Okay.
services.
Well, and that was always why they don't fund your rescue. Huntington County doesn't.
No.
I know. And we've spoken, and to each his own, and we've elected to help our departments in Wells County.
And I'm not sure how many counties actually do what we do.
Right.
I'm not sure I know of anybody that has done what Wells County does for the local people.
Yeah, they just haven't opened up that Pandora's box, so to speak. Right? So, we spoke. I've given some more thought to this a little bit. I don't think I'm into the rescue truck myself, for funding, because you have townships to do that. I lean more towards probably funding a little bit currently for rescue runs to try and offset a little bit of the costs. I don't know if you're able to bill insurance companies. Maybe we did a little bit of that when we could, when they would pay.
We try to.
Yeah, you tried to, I know, and we did too. But by that, there's going to come a time, I guess where I'm going with this is I would be in favor of putting forth some money for your rescue runs, kind of like we do with the Wells County units, but knowing in time that's probably when we get a ruling, so to speak, on rescue versus fire versus townships, because that's just another form of government that we get into that maybe we don't need to, and we can let the townships take care of. I think that's why Huntington's elected to do that. And so I guess at this point, I would be in favor more of putting some money towards your rescue runs, and then ironing out what happens, because I think in time what you'll see in Wells County is that will come out of a commissioner's budget if possible, so we don't have that budget item to cover rescues, and let the fire departments go to the township trustees to deal with that. Does that make sense or
It
not?
does. I kind of think that if we make a commitment, Huntington, we should match what Huntington, where they should match what we put up. That'd be nice to, it's this partnership.
Right.
If we're going to give them a little, Huntington, it would be nice, I'll put it that way.
To have
Whether-
a joint venture to get a
But
little,
we
so you
have
get,
no control over that.
right. And we all know how that works.
And we have no way of making, we can try to facilitate that, but that doesn't mean we can make that happen.
Right, that's just, I think, a commissioner's perspective from workability is, where you have mutual aid, we would have like a nice agreement that we're helping here. Why don't you guys help? But I don't know that would go anywhere. Am I reading that right?
I think so. I think we could.
I mean, we've had our conversations.
Right, we can.
Is there a reason, just out of curiosity, I mean, you do fund 3 other trucks, 100%, and we're not asking for 100%.
Right.
Just
I think my reason, honestly, is because your truck's already been purchased and funded. That it's the horse is out of the barn. It's done. Okay, honestly, just would I want to fund a truck for every rescue? Not really. I don't. Why should it be a county's responsibility? We have to fund. We have to take care of EMS. Even though I was a part of that and I believe in it 100%, what those guys do. But that's something that we have to do now, and it's just unfortunate you're in the middle of 2 counties. And I think moving it forward, maybe that can be looked at in the future. It's just right now to come in and put money into something that's done. We don't have it in the budget, number one. So I guess I'm trying to do something that, because of your runs that you do, and I appreciate what you do from a rescues perspective and fire, safety also. That would be one way I think I could help put forward, but I'm but one vote.
First of all, I guess what we would have to do is we have to get our, since it's not on, we'd have to have a special appropriation, correct? If we wanted it this year.
Transfer.
And do a transfer, and whether or not council will be supportive of that, the item would be to put it in the 2020 budget. And then you'd be included with runs made in 2020 with Odyssey and Liberty and Bluffton. I would be more in favor of that to start in 2020. Dollar amount. Like I said, it'd be nice if Huntington would match dollar for dollar, since you have 2 townships coming from Huntington in your jurisdiction, and the 2 in Wells County. But I don't know. I want to make a commitment without having a discussion with them first if they would be willing at a certain dollar level.
Okay.
I think we could do something, but I would like to have that discussion with either Tom, since Larry's going out.
Okay.
Get Larry, that's what we call.
You're not talking about talking to council to find out what they might approve.
Right, because right now, what we currently do, council's been in support of what we've done. I think if we would just add a small amount to the 20,000, I think is our number, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we had bumped that up and be a slight bit to include it, I don't see objection coming from the council. Maybe I'm speaking out of line, and if I am, I apologize. But
Thanks, Chuck.
I don't really think it matters what Huntington does, because I don't want to model what our decisions are after them.
Yeah, right.
yeah, that's the only
So
thing.
I think we either do it today or we don't.
Okay.
Do you have a number in your head?
You have a number in your head?
Well, I mean, I was thinking, honestly, I was splitting the difference of kind of like what Liberty and Ossian does.
Because Liberty's at 2 and Ossian's at 5.
Right.
You'd go more than Liberty? They have more runs than Liberty? On the numbers? What's Liberty have? Do we know?
We don't have it with us, do we?
I was basing it on running, here again, you get the small section of 69 that you run, for wells.
I would say we just match Liberty for the first go-around and relook at it for 2021.
Okay.
If-
For $2,000. Okay.
That would be
I don't think I want to go more than
suggestion.
Liberty.
Okay.
Want to make a motion?
Oh, go ahead.
So moved.
Okay, have a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay, so we'll start out for the
For now.
at $2,000, moving it
For
forward.
2019. 2020. For 2020?
2020
Okay.
budget.
For
Yeah.
2020.
So, starting in January next year. Okay. All right.
absolutely nothing for a truck.
Not right now.
not even 2020.
No.
You can use that.
Everybody's on a
Yeah.
7-year rotation the way it is, because what that would end up having is everybody's going to have a longer life cycle on vehicle. And again, I don't know if
I felt comfortable after
Counties-
talking after all the townships that went into it. I felt okay with that, based on like maybe one township trying to fund one, and it's just, I mean, the precedence was set a long time ago doing that. Yeah, and like Blake says, we start throwing one in, and it's like, now how do we do it now? I think it's something we can think about, but you know, it's gonna. I think what you're going to see is you're going to see a decrease in funding, where it's going to get pushed back more towards the township, and we'll get out of the business of paying for rescue runs in time. That's what I see in the future. I don't know if it's going to happen in 2 or 3 years, but I think in time, I think you're going to eliminate some of that. That's what I can do. So,
All right, thank you for your time.
thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. What else do you have?
I emailed you the statement of salaries and wages from 144. So,
So noted.
huh?
So noted.
Yeah. So, if you would like, before August 20th, you can make your recommendations to council on any of those. My obligation was to give them to you in the July meeting.
Thank you, so noted.
Yeah. That's all I have.
That's it?
We've got 3 right-of-way agreements for the commissioners to accept.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
0. Okay. Anything else that you have that you need to bring up?
I don't think so.
Tim? Anything? Yep. Anything? Yes.
Maybe the only one in the room that doesn't know the answer to this question, so I'm asking for myself. How come the library isn't overseen by the commissioners? Every other organization in the county that wants money comes to you guys. How come they're not under your blanket?
Roy?
They're their own
Its own
taxing
taxing
unit.
unit.
Yeah.
They're their own taxing unit. And their funding, in connection with the bond issue, they had to start with a resolution from county council, not county commissioners, but they start from that perspective. But they have their own budget and their own your taxes. If you look at your tax bill, you'll see a tax attributable to the library. So that's just the way that organization is set up.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
Second. We are finished. Thank you, everyone.